This podcast is proudly supported by Netflix presenting Maestro. Nominated for 8 Critics' Choice Awards, including Best Picture, and 2 SAG Award nominations for Best Actor, Bradley Cooper, and Best Actress, Carey Mulligan. Bradley Cooper completely transforms into legendary conductor-composer Leonard Bernstein. Time magazine calls it grand-scale filmmaking that's also bracingly intimate, and The Observer calls it the best picture of the year. With expert craftsmanship from Leonard Bernstein prosthetic makeup designer Kazuhiro, spectacular cinematography from Matthew Libatique, and outstanding costume design by Mark Bridges, spanning 5 decades of the epic love story. Maestro, for your consideration in all categories.
From Variety, celebrating more than 118 years covering the business of entertainment, this is the Award Circuit Podcast. So Emma Stone has a dream TV show, but it's not one that you'd expect.
I don't want to go on Celebrity Jeopardy. I really want to earn my stripes. I would like to go on Real Jeopardy, but you have to take the test, and you can only take it once a year with your email address. So every June I take the quiz, and they don't tell you how you did. They just say, we'll let you know in the next 9 to 12 months if you got on the show. And guess what? I haven't gotten on the show.
I'm Michael Schneider, and on this episode of the award-winning Variety Award Circuit Podcast, we talk to Emma Stone about her Golden Globe-winning turn in Poor Things. Also on this episode, the Roundtable discusses the opening of Oscar voting and final picks for the Primetime Emmy Awards. It's all next on this edition of the Variety Award Circuit Podcast. Stay close. Hey everybody, it is Variety TV editor Michael Schneider. I sound exhausted.
You sound, oh my God.
I think we all...
Drink that coffee, Mike.
And it's not even the weekend yet. We are looking ahead towards a crazy weekend of a lot of events. Critics' Choice on Sunday, and of course the Primetime Emmys, the 75th Primetime Emmys on Monday. But there's BAFTA tea this weekend. There's the evening before. There's the Variety Showrunners Dinner. There's so much going on. It is crazy.
They SAG after for a strike. Now it's going to happen anyway.
Well, speaking of SAG AFTRA, well, wait a second. I need to introduce everyone else.
I had a whole bit ready to
I almost forgot everyone.
Yeah.
Hello,
Wow.
Janelle Riley.
Hello. We're all hungry and eating here.
Look at the Foley artist.
That's sound editing.
Wait, someone's at the door.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Remember
Who's
at
there?
Universal Studios when they used to do the Foley show?
Yeah.
Yes, that's so much.
That was fun. I remember being a
Yeah.
kid and thinking, no, this is so cool. This is just like they did it on the old time radio shows.
Yeah, I missed that. Bring back hashtag Save Harry and the Hendersons or whatever it was.
Yeah. All those classic shows. Did they still do Backdraft?
I don't think so, do they?
No, they've changed it for
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious. Some of us did not go to Universal Studios as a child, so I don't know what you're referring to.
I didn't go as a child. This was
I do remember hearing about the Backdraft ride.
Backdraft scared me. I was visiting.
No, it's scary.
And I was standing right up.
I watched it over the holiday break, and it was awesome.
Yeah, but it's also sad.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But it's still amazing that Waterworld still exists as
That
a show.
show is
Wait, is it still
damn
there?
entertaining. Yes, it is.
It's still there, but-
they built a whole tank for it.
Yeah.
But I remember when it was Miami Vice.
What?
Do you remember when it was the Miami
How
Vice
old
show?
are you?
I am ancient. Ancient.
Miami Vice.
We got Jazz Tanke over there.
Hello. I did not go to In-N-Out with a Golden Globe.
She's
some
eating
people.
Lay's right now, though. We all
Yeah.
have our snacks.
God bless Paul Giamatti going to In-N-Out. That's the type of person you want.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Winning
let's
awards.
let's give some respect to Weird Al Yankovic, who also was seen the day before with his Emmy at In-N-Out having a burger. So Weird Al started the trend.
No, Patton Oswalt technically started.
Well,
it
yeah, he did. Well, he was at
a few
Arby's.
years ago, Yeah.
Wait, didn't Adele go to
Arby's?
In-N-Out years ago when she
A
won her
lot of
Oscar?
people go to In-N-Out after Oscars
That's-
because it's right there. It's
yeah,
so close
Yeah.
by.
And it's in and out.
Yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by
Yeah.
In-N-Out
And
Universal
Arby's.
Studios.
It's what a hamburger's all about.
Could we please get some sort of endorsement deal so I can get my big bacon cheddar?
I want Arby's to bring back the chicken. They had chicken nuggets for a little
I've
while,
never
and it
had
was really
Arby's.
good.
Bakes.
Wait,
Well,
I've never had Arby's. Am I missing out?
No.
and of
Okay.
course, I can't forget Clayton Davis. He's got the meats.
He's got the meats, the beef.
MEETS.
Yes.
The beef.
The beef.
And Clayton is eating Skinny Pop.
Yeah, I'm watching my holiday week. That's what it is.
Well, hello, everyone.
Nothing happened, guys.
Here we go.
All right,
so
let's see if we can run through this quick. Creative Arts, Last of Us leads right now before Primetime Emmys.
Ooh.
Surprising.
Well, no, I mean, it's kind of like The Mandalorian a couple years ago, right? Where
is.
it's the
Do you
show
think it's giving
that
false hope?
kills it in the crafts, but I do think that doesn't really say much with the actual acting. But that being said, Pedro is still obviously
On the table. I mean, listen, we get to say this term now. Emmy Award winner Storm Reed.
And
I mean, oh my god,
Nick Offerman.
And Nick Offerman, not surprised. We were
Storm
like,
Reed.
But Storm Reed, listen, I'll own it. I had her ranked last in that category. Didn't think she could pull it. Think she was going to be able to pull it off over Melanie Linsky. What a moment! And I was really happy for her. It's a good. I mean, still Last of Us nonetheless, but good for her.
Yeah.
And just another show completely, but Emmy Award winner Keke Palmer.
I know.
Yeah, that's
First
right.
Black woman ever to win
Yeah.
for hosting.
Yeah.
Buried the lead there,
No,
man.
some
It was
good
crazy.
choices. National Treasure Judith Light winning.
Yay.
Love that. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, come on, speaking of National Treasures, Weird Al Yankovic winning for Best TV Movie, as he should have.
So deserved too, all of them.
Yeah.
Halfway to
Great show.
EGOT.
Halfway to EGOT.
And also someone I had ranked last, Sam Richardson.
You
Ted
last?
Lasso.
Oh,
I
that
didn't
was
think he was
the
gonna win
one thing I
Guest.
knew
Oh,
he was winning. Only
really?
because I don't know if they purposely did this, but he was the only Ted Lasso nominee in Guest this year.
Yeah.
Which was either a strategy that paid off or it just sort of happened. But I was like, that was the only one I felt
Thought
confident
Pedro
about.
was going to do it for SNL. I did.
I was wondering if that was
thought he was gonna
big
do
That
it.
was the
that,
only
yeah.
thing I thought might be competition, but I was pretty certain. Sam
Oh, yeah,
was winning.
I
and
do-
did you see Sam? And he was also Tim.
Tim
Who
Robinson.
also won?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're
the
together with
best
their
friends.
Emmys.
Yeah, how great is that?
Wonderful.
I love that Sam won. I
But it
mean,
also-
Hashtag Save Detroiters.
yeah.
Yeah, but it also won in song, which is like Ted Lasso's loved.
And that I think is a good sign for, on Monday when we're talking about is it down to Ted Lasso or The Bear? Ted Lasso still has a lot of support inside the TV
And
Academy.
this is technically season 1 of The Bear that's nominated for Emmy Awards.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not season 2.
I did
And
do
we-
an NPR hit today explaining what the Emmys are on Monday and what season all this is.
Now, did you
for.
blow their mind?
Yeah, I was like, oh, Better Call Saul 18 months ago. That's what's up for awards right now.
Yep.
But one of my heartbreaking loss, Jury Duty for Casting.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really wanted them to win that
Yeah.
one. Congratulations, Bear. You're going to win a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
damn
Yeah.
Jury Duty, man. That's the one I wanted for it.
I was
Yeah.
I know we're getting to SAG nominations, but the one thing I really want to see was Jury Duty and Ensemble.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that ultimately there still is that confusion over is it scripted, is it unscripted, and that may have caused some voters to just be confused and not go down that path. Unfortunately, because Jury Duty is one of the best things about 2023.
Sure is.
100%.
So yeah, SAG nominations.
Yes. So then we went to SAG nominations. Highlights: Barbie and Oppenheimer tied for the most with 4 apiece. I mean, we're barreling towards Barbenheimer Oscars. Depending on how you feel the competition is, but I feel like we're just barreling towards that kind of big highlight. Barbie coming off the Golden Globes, which we need to preface this. I think people really sounded early alarms that it's in trouble because it only won the blockbuster category in song.
It's
at
the Globes.
Yeah.
The Globes get it wrong a lot. Get it wrong in terms of matching Oscar. Everything Everywhere lost last year to Banshees, and Birdman lost to Grand Budapest Hotel. So
Well, and not to jump around a bit, but we did sort of leapfrog over the Globes.
Yeah.
But, the fact is it was a new voting body this year, a much larger voting body this year. What did we learn from them other than they also pretty much vote straight ticket for the most part? I mean, it was only a handful of shows and films that got all the awards.
So how I've compared the Globes in comparison to Critics' Choice, and I think they're similar groups for 2 different reasons. The Globes are the populist international vote. It tells me what's doing well internationally, and Critics' Choice tells me what's doing well more on the American side. But they're both mass populist. So Barbie not doing well with international voters doesn't surprise me because I don't think any of us think France is really going to come out for Barbie down the line. Doesn't mean that people don't like it there, but
Come on, they love Jerry Lewis. They're going to market.
That's true. But I think we learned that they went pretty conventional. If that's like,
Yeah.
I don't think there were any shockers except for Anatomy of a Fall winning screenplay,
Pretty big shocker.
But makes sense.
Yep.
If you're like, this is the
They
international
clearly
vote.
loved it too. I mean, it showed up everywhere. I just want to like, how do I word this politely? I think that we are dismissing what an incredible achievement it is that Barbie is even in the race. A movie like Barbie, I think like 5 years ago, nobody would expect it to get nominations. And now the fact that we can say like, I can't believe it didn't win, these awards. Like let's not forget the massive achievement that is Barbie to even be in this conversation.
Yeah, no, that's
Let alone
true.
front runner on some of them.
Because, I mean, the first year of the Straight 10, I believe, was the year of Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids could only get arrested in screenplay and Melissa McCarthy. So this is kind of like, that's our assumption of like how Barbie would go 10 years ago. And now it's like making a stronger play. I will say that now that we assessed a little bit of like where it is in the race, can I ask everyone what they feel about the box office achievement category?
Just why?
I think it sends the wrong message because I think with Poor Things winning picture, it inadvertently says, "Oh, you're the best movie that didn't make money. Good job, little guy."
Yeah.
And I think that sends the wrong message. I think just give it either. I think you should nominate a top 5, like the top 5 highest grossers automatically get nominated, and let it be a public vote.
Well, yeah, they need to be clearer on what it means. Like, what are they? Are they saying the quality of the movie? It's the best of the movies that made this sort of money.
Yeah,
like,
you're the best movie that made
Like, how do you
money?
define that? Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
They should do an
Can't
audience.
define
If you're
it,
going to
yeah.
do it, do an audience
Make
vote.
it be a People's Choice vote.
And
I think
also,
that's fine.
it's a slap in the face to Barbie. I mean, had they not had that category, don't you think Barbie probably would have won?
Well, I think it might have been closer, or maybe it still doesn't win, but at least now we wouldn't have wondered about it because some people do interpret that box office category as a third best picture, and I don't think
It's not.
I don't.
Yeah.
But again, we don't. That wasn't abundantly clear.
I kind of looked at it that way.
Did
Is
you?
like that's what they're kind of trying to do. Is like they're kind of finagling a third. Already they get 2 when every other award show gets 1, and suddenly they're they're trying to like squeeze in a third best picture.
That has 8 nominees instead of 6, which also I think is like why do you get 8?
I felt like they just wanted Taylor Swift at the show.
I mean, sure, but
Well,
then
but they announced this before all of the film,
before,
right?
before
the
we knew.
main-
But yeah, but like Taylor Swift being nominated for that is cool in a vacuum because it's like, all right, you're not really eligible for Oscar, even though you are on the Oscar reminder list in some categories. But I just think we have to explain it more. Remember, the Oscars tried this the year of Black Panther. Said, let's do best popular movie, and everyone like punched them. Right.
Wait, did they actually give out an Oscar for that though?
No, it
never got
died
that far.
48 hours later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It died 48 hours. Like people.
Then
were
they had
like,
a fan vote.
the
year of-
Justice League,
right?
and
But they
stuff.
didn't actually get a trophy out of
No.
that. That was just like an
It
honor.
was just said during a bumper package, like into the next category. It was like, why did we do this?
right,
Buried
right.
in the bad ideas hallway.
Yeah.
But I'm still not sure that I like the stand-up category either.
Well,
Just sort of.
So let me say, I like the stand-up category. Their winner was not good, but I do think it should be recognized. I think we have to feel more. I need to feel better that they're watching enough stand-up to give an informed
Yes.
opinion.
well,
on the
look, they had
category.
Jim Gaffigan present, who had one of the best stand-up specials of the year,
Who should have been
and wasn't
nominated.
nominated. Came out, and everybody's instantly was like, "Why isn't he hosting? Or why isn't his special nominated? He's been funnier in these like 2 minutes than anyone else."
I think like Gaffigan, Tom Segura, who else? John Mulaney, not
Yeah, that
there.
was crazy.
Like all that. Like it's just like okay.
who won an Emmy this weekend for that special?
Yeah, he did,
Yeah.
and then surprise hosted the Governor's
what?
Awards.
So I just heard this.
Well, Rachel, wait, what happened?
Okay, so let me set this up. So before the Governor's Awards starts, everyone's mingling in the little mingling area. And all the A-listers are there, and I remember popping an eye and seeing Olivia Munn, and I was like, "Why is Olivia here?" Like literally, I was like, "What?" Like it's so random for her to be here.
Right.
And then the show's about to start, and then they're like, "Oh, host John Mulaney." It was a complete surprise.
Wow.
They've never had a host in the 14 years they've done the Governor's Awards.
Did he complain he only had 10 days to prepare?
No, he didn't complain once, and he killed. Like of
course he did.
I went to Bill Kramer, the Academy CEO, and I went to their comms person. I went to every Academy person I saw after, and I said, "There's your host in 2 years or a year." Well, I don't know if Kimmel has an extended deal for just once a year, but that is your Oscar host. Let Mulaney do it. He was amazing. He read an email from his WME agent for him to put himself on tape for the new Maggie Gyllenhaal movie that she'll be directing as young cop. That I think he broke news during that's going to be starring Christian Bale and Jesse Buckley, which then he said, I know who one of those people are, so I didn't appreciate that part of it. But he said he didn't get the part, but that was just like a minimal part of like all this great stuff he did. It was amazing.
The video is up on YouTube now. It's up online.
Mm-hmm.
And I've not seen it, so I want to watch that.
And I want Angela Bassett to run for president.
Oh my God, Angela Bassett finally got her Oscar.
She's an important person.
Did people cry?
People did, not during her speech. People cried during the Jean Hersholt Award that was given to Michelle Satter from the Sundance Institute.
Great interview with her in last week's Variety.
If anyone doesn't know, our son, she lost her son to an act of violence just this November. And Ryan Coogler and Chloe Zhao presented to her, and they talked about how much they loved her and how much they loved her son because they were friends. And then she took the stage, gave a very impassioned speech, and then towards the end, obviously, she gives a shout out to her son, and then she started crying, and that started everyone else, and then that was it. Oh. So just pray for her always. But other than that, Mel Brooks, man, Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick doing a producers reunion. Mark Shaman played the piano, and they sang for 7 minutes, and it was 7 minutes of heaven. I've seen heaven now. It's great.
See, that sounds like an Oscars ceremony,
right?
I was like, do this, on Sunday, March 10th.
Come on,
or March 8th, whatever it is.
Yeah,
that's only half of this week, right? I feel like there's so much. What else?
We haven't gotten to SAG noms.
So let's finish up SAG. So big surprises. Actor, no Leo.
Which you sort of predicted.
So I predicted that Leo would make SAG but still miss Oscar.
But you saw this coming.
But I just think he's just vulnerable, and nothing to do with quality.
No,
it's just a stat.
We are taking him for granted. Yeah. It's one of his best performances. Mm-hmm. He's fantastic. I hate to say it. He's purposely. I don't think working it as much as some of these other people who are nominated. Yes, he's out there, but he's out there in support of the film and in support of Lily.
And he has a Cate Blanchett problem.
Yeah.
You're comparing we're comparing him to himself, but he's still better than most.
I really do think that this is one of his best performances. I think he's fantastic and he should be nominated, but he has not been putting himself out there one-on-one.
Yeah.
And if he could, and he's obviously choosing not to, and if he did, I think he would be a slam dunk. Yeah. Or I shouldn't say that because it's a very crowded field. It's hard to say. Look, completely missing out, May, December, Past Lives, All of Us Strangers, and Anatomy of a Fall. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be some.
The May December shutout was shocking, but I noticed this later. Coming 1 year after they set the record for the first studio to win every major category, A24 completely shut out this year.
Really?
Yeah. Nothing for Iron Claw.
Nothing for Iron Claw, nothing for Past Lives, nothing for Zone of Interest, nothing for Priscilla.
I think these are very subtle performances, with possibly the exception of Iron Claw, which came out late.
SAG goes populist. They don't do non-English language movies, which explains Sandra Hüller's omission and Best Actress. I saw that coming for SAG. I think she's perfectly fine for Oscar.
I'm not worried for Andrew Scott or Sandra Hüller for Oscar.
Oscar?
You think Andrew's in for Oscar?
I do think Andrew gets in for Oscar. I think BAFTA. He's getting in for BAFTA.
Who misses then?
I've said it before. I'm not going to say it again.
You think so? All right. Maybe. Annette Bening made it in place of Sandra Hüller. I think that's just a very SAG thing to do and seems all right. But can we all come together for Sterling K. Brown?
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was the one I was
so happy.
It should have been a slam dunk. That's the thing is why has he been missing this whole time?
Welcome to our life every day. It's just like, why are we not looking at this?
The why.
Can I just say that what I started doing the gymnastics in my head when they were announcing the nominations, they started Sterling K. Brown, and then they said Willem Dafoe, and I went, "Oh my God, someone's missing already."
Yeah.
And then they said Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr. And then I went, oh no, out loud. I was like, oh my God, they're snubbing Gosling. Like, it was literally like the first thing. And then Gosling was the last one.
I've
mentioned.
said from the beginning that I thought Willem Dafoe had the narrative in Poor Things more so than Mark Ruffalo, which is not mean to say that Mark Ruffalo does not deserve to be nominated. He absolutely does. He's fantastic. But I thought it was weird when that movie came out and people seemed to flock to Ruffalo.
It's a showier part.
It's
Now-
a showier part.
Yeah.
He's very overdue.
Can I go back real quick to that, Clayton? Because did you just forget about how alphabetical order works? Or
Well, because
Hold on, I need some burn cream.
Because what happened was when it was Defoe and Brown, who were the two bubble ones, and then I was like, oh my God, someone huge missed. Because Downey Jr. is supposed to be like third. So then Downey Jr. was fourth, and then there was still Ruffalo to go. That's why I thought Ruffalo was
You're
coming
like, who's going to
next.
miss? Yeah.
So here's the thing with Poor Things, and supporting actor now is complete anarchy.
Boy, I'm telling you, more and
Complete
more,
anarchy.
Defoe is climbing up there.
So here's the thing with Defoe, and what's interesting, Defoe and Brown, both bubble contenders, both missing from the BAFTA long list.
Wow. I didn't
So
realize that.
we
And
don't-
I don't think Defoe is bubble. That's the thing.
I don't. So yes, this I always said. I think I said this to you a few months ago. Defoe can win only if Ruffalo isn't there.
And
'Cause-
Ruffalo isn't there.
and he's not
Yeah.
there. So this is the test for me. Like, okay, Defoe, show me that you can win. Now,
Yeah.
like, beat Downey Jr. at SAG in a very populous group, and then we'll know it's Defoe time. I feel like if you can't close there, because I think this group, because it's 100. How many SAG members are there?
oh, it's crazy.
It's
like
a lot. Like,
160,000.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. About
Yeah.
160,000.
yeah, but
so-
only 2,500 on Nomcom.
Yeah, Nomcom is only 2,500.
Yeah.
So 160,000 people now vote. Mass populace. I think Gosling's taking this in a walk in my head. But if Defoe can show me he can win, then I'm like, all right, go for it.
Defoe is working it.
Yeah.
He's just got a star on the Walk of Fame.
He's out there, yeah.
He's very overdue. He's fantastic in the movie. It's a showy role. I would not count him out by any means. And by the way, didn't Mark Ruffalo get snubbed at SAG for Spotlight and still
he
make
did.
the cut?
This is a
Yeah.
very Spotlight thing of
Yeah.
him to do.
Could happen.
But the thing is, he missed for Spotlight, but Michael Keaton didn't make it in instead of him. Just no one got him for
Right,
Spotlight.
which
So
was
that's
weird.
that's the difference.
Yeah,
So,
Ruffalo's like not out of this either, but
Yeah.
I was just really confused. I felt like people were really dismissing Defoe at the beginning, and
Yeah.
I was like, that's the guy.
You can't
that's
dismiss
the one to
him.
watch.
Yeah.
the only three that have been nominated at every show so far is Downey Jr., De Niro, and Gosling. So on paper, like that's supposed to be like your top three, but I do think there is a narrative for Defoe. I think he needs to get in first.
Yeah, well, obviously, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know if he can get in, but if he does,
If he gets in,
can
yes,
win. Yeah.
that's
It's
the
the
if,
Oppenheimer
yeah.
in visual effects.
Yeah.
You're like, it needs to get in first, and then it didn't.
And being seen is a big thing, and being
Poor
out
Things,
there,
yeah.
and Defoe is out there.
Well, to your point, that's where, like, I think this morning, just before they announced the noms, I was like, I have a feeling like Annette Bening is going to get in.
Yeah,
because
no,
she's been
out
working
there.
it,
Yes,
and that's
and Jodie,
just
and
yeah.
audiences, and especially SAG. I did a couple SAG things
Yeah.
with them, and they have been like sort of quietly just out there, doing the work,
Yeah.
getting word about the movie. When people see the movie, it's very hard not to vote for them.
I
There's
think,
Right,
both
well, I also
exactly.
think they're a package deal.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, I think you're right.
explains Jodie Foster in there. Surprisingly, not Julianne Moore. Jodie Foster's also been nominated everywhere. She hasn't missed.
Yep.
She's on the BAFTA long list. Danielle Brooks made it.
Yes.
God bless her heart.
Very happy.
Thank
for her.
God. Emily Blunt's
I mean, I didn't
there.
think she wouldn't, but
I thought she wouldn't.
really, just
I-
because you didn't think Color Purple was
I think,
playing? or-
yeah, Color Purple is it's big bubble for me.
Made it in an ensemble, though.
It made it ensemble. So right now it's walking in with ensemble and Critics' Choice, and that's it. Because BAFTA long list, it's only there for Fantasia and Danielle Brooks.
And it missed
And
the
it missed-
guilds.
And it missed, and the guilds are what's telling me that, like, damn, it's not popping that way. But who knows? Like, stuff happens last minute. Like Iron Claw being shut out, like bummed me out.
I
too.
really think
That
that's
was
a late
sad.
release thing.
Yeah, it
I
definitely is.
really do. They didn't have time to build the momentum. I don't think it's down and out for Oscars.
Yeah.
But Davine, like, enjoy the ride. I think she's just gonna continue to walk through the season.
Golden Globe winner Davine.
Golden Globe.
Yeah.
winner. Looked beautiful. What a great dress.
Did you see her in person that night?
did.
Yeah,
she,
she was
she
so-
came to the party we were all at,
Oh, yeah.
and she walked by and it was like,
She gives great hugs. She was
She
the
does.
best. She's the best. Like, I'm so happy for her. And then she missed Globe nods and SAG noms, but she is nominated Critics' Choice, I think America Ferrera is still on the table. If Barbie's doing that well, I think America Ferrera is on the table.
In supporting actress.
I think she is.
Let's talk TV real quick on SAG
No.
because
Jeremy Strong
Yeah,
missed. That's
R.I.P.
it.
Jeremy Strong,
Jeremy
man.
Strong, what the hell?
that was
man?
crazy.
For
That was
Brian
the biggest.
Cox.
Look, Brian Cox is great. I got no argument
Sure.
with that.
Right,
but
right.
But still.
But
He's,
damn.
he's the legacy vote. But I find it hysterical that they love the morning show and the Gilded Age as much as they do.
I have no problem with that. I don't know what you're
No.
talking about. Those shows are great.
Those are fun. Absolutely, they are fun shows. But in a world where you only have 5 choices, it is hysterical that those took up 2 of them.
No
So-
Steve Martin, Martin Short, no Meryl Streep. Please, all right, can we also say this? SAG, just add supporting categories, man. Like, it real for TV, it's so stupid you don't. You do it for film.
But
do
I
it for
also
TV.
appreciate the 2-hour runtime of SAGs.
You can, listen, you can
This is
do
true.
it. You can do it in
You can still do it.
2 hours.
Can I just say, Creative Arts Awards, they went for 2.5 hours with 49 awards. So just saying,
Nice.
you can do it.
Yeah.
Palm Springs Gala went for 3.5, and that was torture.
That's not how you do it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No.
when you can kind of just like
Especially
rattle
when you know
out
who the winners are.
Exactly.
Yeah, there should be
Like, wait,
Some
what?
of the presenters spoke longer than the actual
Yeah.
speech. Like,
That's the problem.
Makes me
It's the
crazy.
presenters. Sorry.
the problem is Michael.
It's all my
your fault,
fault.
Michael.
Yes.
And then just real quick, so along with TV, Abbott did fine. Quinta's there. Io.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beery,
The
man.
bear.
Yep.
Winning
Golden
the
Globe winner.
I think she's gonna win SAG, and then she's gonna have to face off against future coming down the pike, Jean Smart.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
gosh.
Jean Smart's back.
Can I just say one thing? Why, and I think we talked about it this morning in Slack, why in 2024 are we still using Instagram Live to announce the SAG nominations? Can we move away
When
from
we're doing like tech support, like at the beginning of it, because I love me some Issa Rae, but seeing her trying to find Kumail
Yeah.
Nanjiani
happens
is like,
every year.
fun.
because how are you going to find it when everybody's logging in and
It's
commenting already?
But
Like,
I do love that you can see all the publicists and all of us in there. Like, it's great. I'm like, I know who's watching, and I can see. And
Yep.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, but it is they're acting like it's 2021 and we're in the middle of the pandemic all
Yep.
over again. Which
Just
is
stop.
I knew that they were announcing together. I didn't realize it was going to be virtual.
I didn't realize either. I thought it was going to be on their YouTube page.
no.
I swear, I thought
That's what I thought too.
they
I
said.
had,
I knew
and,
it was Instagram.
but I was like, wait, there's no backup.
I
Maybe they're
mean,
trying to get some young people up in it, but like, double nominee Issa Rae in American Fiction and Barbie.
yeah, good to be in those
Good
casts.
for her.
Yeah,
She's killing
There's
it.
quite a few. Davine. Oh wait, no, sorry, no murders in. Wait, what's murders?
Yeah,
in
only
Murders in
murders.
Those?
Yeah,
was
only murders
nominated
got
for
I don't know if
ensemble.
she was part. Oh, just real quick about the ensemble. Did you notice that the ensemble names for Barbie, none of the Kens are part of the ensemble nominees?
Yes, that was a big.
But Helen Mirren, who gives a voice performance, I believe might be the first one, is included.
so it's all about how they're credited.
It's all about billing
Yeah,
in the
it's
movie.
so
If you have a
fascinating.
if you're a single name card, then you're included. If you are double billed with someone else, because Ma Rainey's Black Bottom had Viola and Chadwick, so if you're double billed, then you have to include both in that billing. So I don't know. I guess they just didn't want that many like people, but not singing Kingsley Benadire there bummed me out. so
And
much.
Simu too.
And
Simu missed.
Simu.
Yeah.
And Simu.
Yeah, well, and also the controversy is having so few indigenous names in
Yes.
Killers of the Flower Moon,
Yeah.
and that ensemble listed is embarrassing.
Yep. So again, single names. The only 2 indigenous, Lily and Tantu. Sorry, I can't pronounce her last name.
Card.
Cardinal?
Cardinal.
Cardinal,
Yeah.
all right.
I think so.
Who has 4 minutes of screen time. God bless her. She's a legend, and she should like act in any movie she wants. And Brendan Fraser, who has 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 38 seconds of screen time, is on that ensemble list, but not Cara Jade Myers, actor to watch, who has I think 10 minutes of screen
Right,
time.
and so the problem there is, of course, these are up and coming actors who haven't worked before because this is Hollywood
Yeah.
and they're indigenous and they haven't had the opportunity. So of course their name is they're not gonna get a single billing. So now they're penalized for that.
It's SAG decides that
this-
though, just to make that
Yeah.
clear.
I
Like
mean,
it's
a rule.
no,
I
it's
mean,
not the studio. It's not
They
the,
should be
yeah.
getting single cards. I think is
Yeah.
the answer.
Yeah. So I don't know who to blame, but let's
SAG.
You.
pick
Mine-
four.
You.
Yeah,
You're the
pick
sorry.
Michael
Yes,
Schneider.
yes.
You.
Movie I saw this week, Boy and the Heron.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Wow.
My number 10 film of the year. How did you like it?
I loved it. Not my favorite Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film, but
Spirited Away lives on.
yeah,
forever.
I mean, there's still plenty greater ones, but still solid, still
I would
great.
love to do shrooms and watch that movie. It must be wild.
Oh, because with the fantasy
it must
sequences.
be wild.
Wait, have you done shrooms?
Once in college. No, if Sophia's listening to this, no, I didn't, and I would never do drugs or smoke
Freaking
cigarettes.
mushrooms.
I did it once in college, but I was just like, oh my god, this must be such a trip for people to watch. But it's and that music is beautiful.
Yeah,
I hope he gets nominated. I hope Joe gets.
That
In
category
for that.
is a bloodbath too.
Composer for score, yeah.
It hurts. What else did you see, Mike?
That's probably the highlight this week because I've been catching up on a lot of TV. I think I mentioned this last week, but again, the new True Detective is
so good.
amazing. So digging
With,
into that
SAG nominee Jodie Foster.
with Jodie Foster.
Future Emmy nominee
and
again. Jodie
con-
Foster?
and
Emmy?
continuing on with this season of Fargo, which is great as well. So there's still
I
a
haven't
lot
watched anything of Fargo yet this year. Is it as good as season one, or just like
It's
it like,
really good.
Are we in that True
it's
Detective
getting back
mode? Okay.
into it's sort of a lot of these shows where they sort of midway through they kind of lose their way and they come back. So this is very much a
I
comeback
love this
season.
John Hamm time we're in right now. Again.
It is a good John Hamm time.
Yeah.
Have you
And
seen his animated show?
so Grimsburg.
Yeah, is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
What is it
It's on Fox. But yeah, it is John Hamm's world right now. So why don't we end things by real quick getting back to our Emmy predictions, which we made literally 6 months ago. So I don't
what
even
are the
remember
shows? Oh my
what we
God.
predicted.
Drama series. Anyone think it's not Succession?
I mean, of course, it's Succession.
I
It
think
has
it
to
is.
be,
I think
right?
it just is.
Well, I hope people write in The Bear because that show is a drama.
There should be writing categories
Yeah.
at all
Other.
these shows.
Comedy series. Oh God.
I'm going to still predict Ted Lasso.
I am
think
too.
when they were voting, it was still like the height of Ted Lasso's final season.
And where was The Bear? Because season one was quite a while ago, and that's what they're technically voting
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Or were
so-
we in the
That was-
heat
that
of
was
season
that-
two?
we
But
were in the heat of season two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were
That's
voting
tough
for
then
season one.
Because they
but-
dropped the binge.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that's where maybe you get a Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah.
And at least in lead actor. Io is in supporting.
He's in supporting, but also that's why people think Eben Moss
Oh, God, he's
is
so
going to
good.
win, because I think season two,
Because it's season two.
he's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
contender next year for
and
sure.
he should win for season two. I don't know about season one.
But people think
Yeah.
it's going to have like this
That's
It's gonna
upset.
I
confuse
totally
people.
get that.
when people
I
voted.
think Ted Lasso prevails.
I'm still holding out for jury duty.
I
love
I
jury
think I'm going
duty.
to go down with
Yeah.
I think the sinking ship and say it's Abbott. I'm going to say it pulls a
Well,
Friends.
don't call it a
I don't
sinking
think
ship.
Jury Duty is winning, by the way.
I have it. I have it.
Great if it did.
I just have it mimicking Friends. It's like it's going to win comedy and lead actress only, without nominations for directing and writing. The same thing that happened the year Friends won. So I'll hold on
Interesting.
to it.
And then limited.
Limited. Oh, beef, man.
Beef is on fire right now.
got it.
Beef
man.
all the way.
Upset pick though, if there was one, Daisy Jones in the Six.
Yeah.
I was going to say Daisy could.
So do we think Evan Peters is not winning because everyone was
Evan,
saying it
Evan's
was him
winning, I think.
over Stephen Yeun?
I
I think Stephen. I think Stephen and Ali.
think it's Evan and Allie.
It's hard to say because it feels like Steven is peaking right now.
Right
but
now,
again, don't forget, people voted 6
while
months
ago.
ago.
Yep, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
I
So-
think it's Evan still.
So it's hard to say.
All right, and the only acting category I really want to get into, lead actor. Who's winning lead actor drama?
What's that?
The lead actor drama. Cox, Succession Boys.
I kind of think it's
Pedro.
Jeremy Strong.
You think Jeremy Strong?
I do.
I kind of think you're right.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think you're
going
right.
Kieran.
Ooh.
That'd be great. I mean, they're
I'm gonna-
all so good. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think it's just because so many of them cancel each other out.
Yeah.
One just has to prevail a little bit, and because Jeremy Strong is seen still as sort of the leader of that final season.
And he's won before too.
Yeah, that he kind of
Kieran at the Golden Globes saying "Suck it, Pedro," though.
Oh, what a
Warmed
great
my
moment.
heart.
Yeah.
Our injured Pedro, by the way.
Yeah, with his arm.
Yeah, he fell down the stairs in his parents' house. He told me, and he's in surgery this month also, but he will return on the first day of Last of Us season 2 when it starts shooting.
That's good,
Okay.
but doesn't that sound like the dumbest way? Like what Pedro? What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Because that stuff happens,
Or is it-
right?
or is-
At your family's house,
What's the
like,
real story?
Yeah. That's totally what
I would
thought,
get
too.
injured at my family's house, but this teaches a lesson. Let's not go to our family's houses during the holidays.
Oh, you don't need to tell me. Oh my God, I'm still recovering.
This week, Emma Stone is
Whoop,
on the
whoop.
podcast.
Very exciting.
Golden Globe winner.
Her best performance, I think.
She said when I spoke with her for our Anatomy of a Character piece on Bella Baxter, she was like, "It's my favorite role that I've ever played."
She's great.
And she's so good in it.
Don't watch it with Maria, Michael. With your wife. Don't watch it with your
No?
Oh, did you watch? No.
No, I let my wife watch it. Maria Schneider is like precious cargo, an angelic figure in this world. Do not corrupt her innocent mind.
So then wait, she shouldn't watch Saltburn either then?
No, I wouldn't show her.
Yeah, we're worried about that. And I wasn't sure if I was going to show her The Curse either, speaking of Emma Stone. Because
Have you seen the final
especially
episode of The
that
Curse?
first episode.
I heard it's wild.
No, not yet.
I'm so excited for people to see it because they sent us all 10 in advance and I watched them all right away. And I have been waiting to talk about it for so long.
I love this Benny Safdie moment that we're just living
in.
now.
So good.
Not also not part of the Oppenheimer ensemble cast nominated. It's
just
sucks.
rude.
Stupid.
So weird, so weird. All right, well, we're going to leave it at that. We'll get on to Emma Stone. And next week, it is a mega post-Emmy edition where we just chat it all up. What is going on?
Nothing's happening.
Exactly.
Happy Oscar voting.
Happy Oscar voting, and we'll see you
Happy
soon.
BAFTA voting to get you, and Critics' Choice voting. Get it all in.
Wait, they're still voting for Critics' Choice?
Friday.
Yeah,
Friday.
Friday.
Wow.
And BAFTA's Friday too.
Oh, jeez. Like, that is right up to the wire.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, go vote. Go vote often. Bye. After the break, we talk to Poor Things star Emma Stone. From Los Angeles, this is the Award Circuit Podcast.
This podcast is proudly supported by Netflix presenting May December, nominated for 5 Spirit Awards including Best Feature, and 3 Critics' Choice Awards including Best Original Screenplay by Sammy Birch. May December is Natalie Portman's best performance ever, says Awards Watch. Variety raves, Charles Melton delivers a performance that could shoot him to superstardom, and IndieWire proclaims, Julianne Moore is sensational, featuring what Variety calls a whip-smart script from Critics' Choice Award nominee Sammy Birch. May December, for your consideration in all categories.
And we're back. It's the Variety Award Circuit Podcast, and I'm Michael Schneider. Based on the novel by Scottish writer Alistair Gray and written by Tony McNamara, Poor Things tells the story of a young woman named Bella Baxter, who is brought back to life by a scientist, Dr. Godwin Baxter. She chooses to explore the world when she falls for a slick lawyer, Duncan Wedderburn, and begins to explore the continents, seeking sexual liberation and equality. In addition to Stone, the film stars Oscar nominees Willem Dafoe and Mark Ruffalo.
These two are fighting and ideas are banging around in Bella's head and heart like lights in a storm.
Oh. You're always reading now, Bella. You're losing some of your adorable way of speaking.
I'm a changeable feast, as are all of we. Apparently, according to Emerson, disagreed with by Harry.
Come, just come.
You were in my son.
What?
Emma Stone, of course, is an Oscar winner for 2016's La La Land and is popular with the actors branch with 2 other previous acting noms for her work in the 2014 Best Picture winner Birdman and her previous collaboration with Yorgos Lanthimos on 2018's The Favorite. With Poor Things, Stone could be the second woman nominated for producing and acting in the same year, following Frances McDormand for Nomadland in 2020, who won both. In addition, she could be the second actress to receive Oscar nods for 3 comedic performances, following Meryl Streep in Adaptation, Julie and Julia, and Florence Foster Jenkins. Variety's Clayton Davis spoke to Stone to discuss the process of creating her iconic character in Poor Things and working with her frequent collaborator, Lanthimos. She also discusses what to expect from their next collaboration due out in 2024, Kinds of Kindness. He began by asking why this character now, and whether she could have tackled something like this earlier in her career.
I don't know. I mean, I think everything happens when it is supposed to happen. But I mean, I certainly wouldn't have wanted to play Bella without Yorgos. And so 10 years ago, no, because I didn't know him then. And he had the rights to the book. So, no, I'm just kidding. We made The Favorite, and we started talking about this right after, and I loved working with him, and then hearing about Bella as a character and about the story of Poor Things, which was a novel written by Alistair Gray. I just loved the whole concept, the whole world, and what she as a character represents. And so, yeah, that was, I should say, I hope I could have made it 5 years ago, because we started talking about it 7 years ago. So it took a while to
So you
get
could
it
have
all
got it
together.
off the ground.
Well,
I'm
we'll
going to
see.
adjust it just so you're
Okay. Is it too close to me?
Yeah, I mean, it really picks up a lot of sound.
I'm just really screaming into it.
Because you look like you just, but you don't, you're good.
All right.
All right. What I want to love to ask you about is the production value, costumes, everything like just brought to life. And I believe I'm correct, all in a sound stage mostly?
Like 90% in the soundstage.
Like, and
95%?
building like cities inside buildings and like, tell me about this. Like,
Yeah,
and the
was-
first time you saw it, I know you speak about like just being baffled by
It
that.
was incredible. Yeah, but it was like a constant first time seeing it, because we shot on each, stage or set or section, all within their own world. So we started shooting in Baxter's house, which was an entire house built on a film lot in Budapest. And so that was incredible. And then we moved to Lisbon after that. And Lisbon was an entire world unto itself. It took like 45 minutes to walk through. You would go upstairs into a hotel lobby, and then a hotel room, and then walk down, and then there was like a basement bar, and then the oyster restaurant, and all of these incredible things to see. And then we went to the ship, and an entire built ship, and then Paris was all built inside, and even the street of London that Baxter lives on. And then there were miniatures of these cities, and so those were being shot, or of the ship. And it was kind of endlessly beautiful to discover all the details of it. And it was also incredible, playing Bella, who's seeing the whole world for the first time, that was actually a real feeling while I was playing her.
As the story unfolds and we're watching, and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it spoiler free because some people might not have seen it yet. There is a discovery, like you mentioned, like Bella seeing the world for the first time, and the way she discovers certain things, and then we find out her origins at the end, towards the end of the film, and it becomes like to like the alt conservative right, they'd be like, this movie's really woke. Like it would be like this, like it is a woman empowerment without having to even say it's women empowerment, but it is taking back your voice. Did you see that in the script, or was it like in subtext, or is that what you just interpreted the story?
You mean in the end, she's taking back her
Christopher
voice?
Abbott.
Oh, in that.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm
yeah.
dancing
no,
around
I
this.
think it's I guess at that point it's all kind of. I mean, she chooses to go, and she chooses to learn about her past and who she was. God, that's really hard one to do without spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that scene I love and is amazing. Also, a little fun fact about that scene. I can't see, like, my prescription. Do you know your prescription?
No.
Your glasses
No,
prescription?
this is my first year with classes.
Oh,
I
really?
have no idea like what.
Okay, so I'm negative 1,000, which is like 4 times legally not
can't see.
able to see. And so we had some fun ideas for Bella, which was that when we were in extreme close up, I took out my contacts. And then we also tried that with the scene with Chris Abbott, who is at the end of an extremely long table.
Mm-hmm.
So during that scene, I actually couldn't see him a lot of the time, which was kind of amazing because it's a very long scene. And I felt like I was in sort of a hallucination fever dream where there was like a blob speaking to me at the end of a table, and it was actually pretty effective, I think. But so that there's a non-spoiler answer about that scene.
You're describing method acting. You were getting
Yeah,
really
it's
into calendar.
very method. Although I think Bella can see pretty clearly.
I have this is hilarious. I have to ask you just something that I was thinking about recently regarding how you are now in this producing stage of your career, as well as acting. And I'm a treasure trove of useless facts that will do nothing for you in the future. But if you ever go on Jeopardy, it might help.
That's my favorite show.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's my dream. You know, I apply every June.
And nothing?
I've never
not even
got-
a celebrity?
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to be.
No, you want to
so I don't want to go on Celebrity Jeopardy. I really want to like
regular
earn
Jeopardy.
my stripes. I would like to go on Real Jeopardy, but you have to take the test, and you can only take it once a year with your email address. So every June, I take the quiz, and they don't tell you how you did. They just say, we'll let you know in the next 9 to 12 months if you got on the show. And guess what? I haven't gotten on the show. But I watch it every single night, and I mark down how many answers I get right. And I swear, I could go on Jeopardy.
I believe you could.
All right, sorry. Continue with your facts.
This is very Rosie Perez, White Man Can't Jump. I'm
Yeah,
very
exactly.
excited
We're
by this
to
right
start
now.
with the letter Q.
Yeah, which I know all those things because of what film helps us all. So where was I saying? All right, so two things. If you're nominated, or say win, I don't want to jinx it, but win for Best Actress and Best Picture, only the second woman to be nominated for both those categories in the same year.
Frances McDormand for Nomadland.
Frances McDormand was
See,
the first.
I love this trivia.
Because and it's been interesting because we've seen guys do it. Like Bradley Cooper's done it twice. Clint Eastwood's done it twice. Warren Beatty did it 4 times.
Wow.
Like it's like one of those things. And you're really like steering your career, which is great to see. But more interesting is, I believe when you get nominated, depending on how you classify La La Land, you will be only the second woman to be nominated for 3 comedic performances in your career. If you call La La Land a comedy, then you take the title. But that's always up for debate. Yeah. Musicals, all that. Yeah. Funny-ish. That's what I'm saying. Meryl Streep was the first one, so now you're in the same group with
Jeez.
Meryl.
Finally, I'm always like, guys.
Just chasing her. How do you feel right now taking that ownership of Emma Stone, career-driven person? Because we don't see a lot of this happen, or to have such success with it in the way that you have. You know, obviously you, Natalie Portman, and Margot Robbie are big titles of conversation this year in that realm. But how do you feel about, or what was the mindset about starting your own production company and just being your own person?
Well, I think the production company it feels different from being a producer on this specific film, because this film, well, first of all, Yorgos asked me to be a producer on this before we had started a production company. Okay. And because we had talked about this for years at that point, I think he asked me to do that because I was just constantly, pestering him with questions and needing every detail. So it was really just more to go like, here, all right, enough. But it was incredible because, to feel like a real, collaborative partner. And it's not that I haven't felt that way as an actor without the title of something like producer. But, I think, and this is before I met Yorgos and before we had talked about any of this. But I think when I was younger, because now I realized I've been doing this. I moved to LA to start auditioning 20 years ago this year. I don't live in LA anymore, but that's why I moved to LA. And you see a lot of things, or you have a lot of experiences, and the opportunities I was getting at the beginning were different than the opportunities now. But like for instance, something like Easy A. Mm-hmm. I was 20 when I made that movie, and I read the script and I begged to be the first person to audition for it whenever they were opening up auditions. And Will and I, the director of Easy A, totally worked in tandem throughout that whole experience. Yeah. And Burt V. Royal, the writer too. But, and I was 20 and I didn't know any other way, but it was like, in order do that movie, to be in every scene of something, we would work on it all together all the time. And that was an amazing experience for me. And then I would go and make other films where I really felt like kind of a cog in the machine, where it was like, okay, you're here, you were hired, and you do this and you do the best that you can. But I remembered that experience as being so much more fulfilling, because I really felt like an integral part of the process, not just like a hired gun. Do you say hired gun anymore? Oof.
I don't know.
Terms. But it was, and so I guess as time went on, and then I started sort of melting down. Like, I worked a lot one year in 2013. I made 4 films, and I was 20. I turned 25 that year. And I was like,
after you rented a car, because now you could do
so
that.
I finally rented a car.
Yep.
It was great. But I kind of melted down at the end of that year, and I felt really, burnt out. And I felt like I was like kind of losing the love of what I did and what I wanted to do. And I'd seen people in my family do that. Like, I have family members that started, businesses, and because they loved something, and then in overworking it, they started to kind of stop loving the thing that they loved because it turned into work. And it really scared the shit out of me. Can we curse on the podcast?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is a family affair.
Yeah.
It really scared me, because I was like, I'm only 25, and I really I started feeling, disillusioned, like in a way that was, I don't know. It really freaked me out. And so I took a little time, and then I ended up doing cabaret on stage. And that completely reinvigorated my love of acting in general. But I think it was because I had some sense of ownership again, because you speak to the director at the beginning, and then you do 100 and something shows, and you don't really talk to the director. You're kind of like self-directing and working with the other actors and just doing theater again. I thought, and again, that was the only time I've ever done professional theater, and I doubt I could ever do it again.
High school's professional.
Yeah.
That was my time too.
But it changed something in me where I didn't feel that way anymore. And I guess in the producing side of things, it really is just more to put a sort of, if I'm in it, which with the company, I've only been in one official thing that we've made with Fruit Tree, with the company that I was in, which was The Curse. But the other films that we've made, I'm not in. It's just, but every film that we've made so far is with a writer director. Yeah. And we're close friends with some of them, and some we've just gotten to know, but every single one has written their own story and are directing it. And, that is something that I've been lucky enough to see up close multiple times, or to work with auteurs, or, even with Yorgos, who writes. I've only done 1-2 projects that he's written out of the 4, 2, Bleat and Kinds of Kindness. But that it's a mentality that I think is really important, and a protection of that process that I think is really important. And so that's been really exciting, just to that was a really long-winded answer. Sorry.
Listen, it
went back into
the answer that we want. We want your answer.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned Easy A, and I'm supposed to just say this. Let me get this out of the way. My wife's best friend, her favorite movie, her name's Pamela. Her favorite movie is Easy A.
Hi, Pamela.
She made me say that. Okay, done.
Thanks, Pamela.
I'm always fascinated by, I always say I'm here by accident. In this industry, I'm not supposed to be here. I just moved to LA 2 years ago. I was minding my own business in the middle of a pandemic on the East Coast. I'm supposed to live there still. I've never lived anywhere else but New York, New Jersey area. And now I'm over here. But I've loved movies my entire life. Do you recall the movie that did it for you? That you were like, I love cinema?
Well, the thing that made me love the idea of performing was SNL. That was watching SNL when I was really young. But the first movie that I remember deeply, deeply falling in love with was The Jerk. Because because it was my dad's favorite movie. And so it was, I mean, this is all right. Let's just go back into history again. I do think a lot of it has to do with it felt like I could bond with my dad through it because we would sit and watch The Jerk together. We watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Caddyshack. Weirdly, Shawshank Redemption was one of his favorite. I mean, I was born in the 80s.
It's
so
a very dad movie.
yeah, he loved it, but I was like 7 years old watching Shawshank Redemption.
TNT every Sunday. It's
Yeah,
always on. Yeah,
it was.
there you go.
No, but it wasn't the edited version. I think we had it on like Laserdisc or something. And so those, I do think it was. I kind of combined the feeling of film and and love, and so I don't know if it was. I can't tell now if it was those films themselves or if it was that feeling. But I did learn that my personality was such that I did love to kind of perform. They put me in a play when I was in first grade. I was the only first grader in the fifth grade play, which was a really big deal because all the kids were older.
Like skipping grades.
It was very cool. And so that was a great feeling. And then I started doing, like local community theater when I was 11. So I don't know. I guess the long answer, I'm giving you very long-winded answers today, sorry, is the Jerk. And Planes, Trains.
I identify with your, like, the connection part with your dad. Like, I had a really rough relationship with my dad, but that's why I have this very special love for Home Alone 2: Lost in New York.
Really?
Because it's one of the only times I remember him and I watching a movie in the theater together, just him and I, that no one else was there.
Yeah.
So, and I remember laughing so hard, and I remember him like kind of looking at me like, "Why do you think this is the funniest thing you've ever seen?"
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those core memories.
But that is one of the kind of beautiful things too. Now, even getting to make films, because you do realize. Because I typically am like, this is so silly. Like, this is a job, dress up. And like, I think it's so, this is just me and this is my own, whatever brain. And I know that it is a very difficult job for a lot of actors, but I always feel embarrassed saying it's like a hard job because even when days are long or it's challenging, it's such a fun job and a joyous job. And like, you're not saving any lives. But at the same time, I do understand like what we're both talking about, the kind of like bonding experience or moments in your life that can kind of be defined by different things that you see or the way it can shape your perspective about the world. And so I do think storytelling itself is so important, but it's just sometimes a little embarrassing to say like you're an actor on those forms you fill out.
When you have to fill out taxes, job.
I'm like self-employed.
It's what's it called? LLC. Emma Stone LLC. Looking to the future, and I like that you already mentioned
flying cars.
Well, Back to the Future 2 lied to us. It's
I know.
supposed to be here already.
Well, they didn't about Biff.
Oh, true story. That's dark though.
I know.
You have and it would be better if I could tell you this without him in the room. So Yorgos Lanthimos, right?
He's in the room, you guys.
He's nearby.
He's just watching us.
I really like that dude, and why I like him is because I think The Lobster is some fucking amazing shit. Like,
Earmuffs, Yorgo.
I love The Lobster so much because he. And listen, In Bruges already exists by then, but I feel like he gave us like the reason why Colin Farrell is very important in this world, and we have to hold on to him as long as possible because
those sacred deer also
because he has a distinct vision, but also, and I hope this is fair in saying this because not every film is for everyone. Yorgos is so singular in the way he brings movies to us. And I'll never show a Yorgos Lanthimos movie to my mother. Like never. She would yell. They already think I'm a snob. So she would scream at me. I would get disowned. It would be on. Do you find that there's like this language that he speaks that only like you can kind of understand and speak back? I
don't think so. A lot of people love his films. They speak that language too in some way. Also, it's Greek. A lot of people speak Greek.
So it is. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we have a very special bond, and I'm so grateful for it. I think it's so nice getting to work with someone again and again that you really trust and genuinely admire and respect. And and we just are such close friends that we're able to sort of like communicate without having to walk on eggshells or hold certain things back because of like what the role is supposed to be of like an actor, director, how you're supposed to speak to all of that. It's really, it's very freeing. So yeah. No, I've seen other people that speak his language though, other actors that speak his language. We saw one last night.
Oh, thanks for the Governor's Awards.
Yeah.
John Mulaney killed yesterday, by the way.
He was very
my
funny.
God. Like
That email, the Maggie Gyllenhaal audition email was incredible.
He broke news.
Young cop.
He broke news in that email that he read. No one knew Christian Bale and Jesse Buckley were circulating Maggie
crazy.
Gyllenhaal. So we all started looking at each other. Wait a minute.
What is this movie?
Yeah. I think
There's no script available.
The
But put yourself
scoopers
on
are on
tape
it
for
right now.
Young Cop.
Looking a little bit more into the future, I saw the TV Glow, A24.
Jane Schoenbrun's film.
Debuting at Sundance.
A Real Pain.
What drew you to the project? Like,
To TV Glow? Mm-hmm. Jane. Jane was, we saw World's Fair and meeting Jane. They're a very fascinating person, and it was just a really beautiful script, and is a beautiful film, and is very personal to Jane. It's similarly in the vein of, these stories are very personal to the people that we've worked with so far with our company, and Jesse too, A Real Pain, which is going to Sundance. Jesse Eisenberg wrote it and directed it, and a very personal story to him as well. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't get to go to Sundance, but
I don't get to go to Sundance either because it's the worst timed festival
I've
of all time.
I've never been.
I've never been either.
Really?
And people always look at me like, "You've never been?" I'm like, "No, I wasn't hanging out in Utah in January, like in the month growing up."
That's why you're not going?
No, it's always Oscar week when it happens, and I have to do that stuff.
This is your job.
Yeah. When you say you feel silly saying tell people you're an actor, I feel silly all the time. Like, I'm the awards editor. I follow the Oscar race and Emmy race. Speaking of Emmy race, let's go into just one question about next year's, because I believe The Curse could put you into that. The show deals with a lot of hot button issues and moral gray areas. I haven't watched the finale yet, but one of my colleagues did and told me that it is bonkers in all caps. Were you nervous about anything in the show in particular?
Oh, no, I was generally nervous overall on a daily basis. I think because, I think Nathan is a genius, and I had known him for a few years before he asked me to do The Curse. I think he asked me in 2020. And Benny I didn't know. But meeting them and, what they were, I mean, I didn't know Benny personally. I knew his work, but, I was like, I really want to be a part of this. But as it went on, Whitney is by far the most, kind of morally complex character that I've ever played. And it was a little bit terrifying on a daily basis. She's a horrifying person to get into, but also that's what was so kind of amazing about getting to play her. She's like a human mood ring. So everyone that she, interacts with or speaks to, or the way they look at her, she shifts her way of being, just to kind of, I don't know, try to optimize what that exchange with her will be for them, but doesn't see that everyone can kind of see that she's doing that. So it was, I think that was the biggest
I thought
fear of it.
Two last questions for you.
Okay.
I need, just think you're going to be able to tell me this. Kinds of kindness. Kinds of kindness.
Yes.
With which co-stars one of my favorite dudes, Jesse Plemons.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me the plot and what happens at the end?
Yes.
Please.
So you've seen Jurassic Park?
Yes.
It's a remake.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, part one or part? If it's a remake of Lost World, that would be awesome.
It's a remake of Lost World.
Good.
Are you
Awesome.
freaking out?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I know. It's a really big
I
deal.
actually like the Lost World.
It's really,
People love it.
So it was Kinds of Kindness is
Formerly called and ... And I was really looking forward to that title.
It's kind of a triptych film. It's 3 films. Core cast of 7 actors. What?
3 stories, not 3 films.
3 stories. Sorry, 3 stories. Well, it's almost like 3
Anthology.
short films. It's kind of like an anthology, yes. But it's a core of 7 actors, and we're each playing a different character in each story. And the ending, whoa, you won't believe this. The dinosaurs take over everything.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was dead the whole time.
He was dead the whole time. Yeah, in the end, actually, he was dead the whole time. Yeah.
All right, good. I'm looking forward to that.
And Rosebud was his sled.
The sled.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the plot of Home Alone 3, by the way, if anyone doesn't know.
What is?
Rosebud.
What do you mean?
I was joking.
Like,
Damn it, Emma.
All
All right.
Fine.
Last question. Mm-hmm. And this is all right. Like, I don't want to embarrass you anymore, but I'm going to try not to.
You have humiliated
I'm going to try not
today.
to. It's no secret you're sitting here with the awards editor of Variety.
We've both announced what our jobs are multiple times on this podcast.
I'm sorry, the senior
We
awards.
both been like,
senior
here are our
awards
jobs. We're so embarrassed.
we like to make sure that everyone knows our profession. Yeah. It's because the IRS is always listening. So, all right. So you've been nominated for 4 Academy Awards. Yes. 4. 3. 4.
Yeah, I know.
Wait. Birdman, La La Land, Favorite. 3. Oh, yeah. This is going to be number 4. Okay.
Oh, God.
All right. Obviously, there's always the first time that is I can't believe I got an Oscar nomination for Birdman, and Patricia Arquette jumped in front of me and then ran up stage, and it was great. And then you win for La La Land, and then the Favorite. I always say one of my favorite Oscar moments of all time is Olivia Colman winning, and you in tears,
really
and
insane.
the way Yorgos slips down,
Who's also crying,
who just does a simple 1-2 on the cheek and sends her. One of my favorite Oscar speeches is incredible.
Oh,
but
God, she's the best.
No one chases an Oscar, but it's gonna feel good after a while. Coming after Angela Bassett gave a powerful speech at the Governor's Awards yesterday, and on the day you get a SAG nomination, congratulations, and that up and comer Willem Dafoe.
He's going places.
What does that ever sink? Do you ever get imposter syndrome, or just anything that kind of comes with this?
Do I ever get imposter syndrome? It's all I have is that. What do you mean? There's another way?
That's how you exist.
I don't think that any of this will or has ever felt like normal in any way. I think it's it's so strange because it is such an honor, and it really does mean a lot to me. And at the same time, I know it's subjective, and it's performances and art in general is kind of in the eye of the beholder or the audience of it. And so, it's an interesting balance, in your mind, because sometimes you're part of films where you're like, oh, I wish that people had responded in that way to this, or, and then when something like that does happen, it's really beautiful. But yeah, it never feels like, oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Anyway.
Well, it's well deserved.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for you to make more movies with Yorgos and by yourself too. Whatever you
just
feel like doing.
Just completely by myself.
Yeah, you should direct a one woman show.
Just do all of the jobs, Jerry Lewis style.
Listen, there's a lot of auteur entitlement happening these days. So everyone's just like, I can do everything.
No, thank you.
But thank you.
I don't want to do everything.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
That's star Emma Stone of Poor Things, now in theaters. And that's it for this edition of Variety's Award Circuit Podcast. Zach Levin edited this episode, and Michael Schneider is the producer. Be sure to subscribe to the Award Circuit Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you download podcasts. Also, head on over to Variety.com and click on the Awards Circuit tab to find the latest awards predictions and key races, as well as your daily fix of news, analysis, and reviews. For Jazz Tanke, Janelle Riley, and Clayton Davis, I'm Michael Schneider, and we'll see you on the circuit.
This podcast is supported by Netflix presenting Society of the Snow, Critics' Choice Award nominee for Best Foreign Language Film, and Spain's official submission at the 96th Academy Awards. From director J.A. Bayona comes the inspiring and harrowing true story of the rugby team who survived 72 days in the Andes Mountains following a devastating plane crash, and the humanity that survived. One of the best films of the year, says Collider, and a remarkable achievement, says Next Best Picture. The expert craftsmanship brings the harsh and complex environment to life, with hyper-realistic visual effects and an emotional score from Critics' Choice Award nominee Michael Giacchino. Society of the Snow, for your consideration.